Ladies and gentlemen, Atlanta just served up a plot twist so scandalous it makes the Kardashians look like a church choir rehearsal. I'm talking Yandy and Mendeecees, yes. Reality TV's so-called power couple caught up in a mess that just cracked open like a cheap wig in a windstorm. For years, Love and Hip Hop painted their relationship as the definition of ride or die. She held him down while he was behind bars. He came home to applause like he was Obama returning from a secret mission, and together they sold us the fairy tale of loyalty. But guess what? That fairy tale just got bulldozed by some very real, very messy receipts. We're talking whispers of betrayal, money moves that don't add up, and secrets that could turn this perfect couple brand into daytime talk show punchlines. Fans aren't just shocked, they're spiraling harder than Twitter during a Beyonce album drop. And the tea? Oh, it's scalding. So buckle up, because what I'm about to spill will have you clutching your pearls, texting your group chat, and screaming at the screen. Not Yandy and Mendeecees. The truth is here, the mask is off, and Atlanta may never recover. Alright, let's rewind this messy mixtape and start from the beginning. Because if we're going to dissect this disaster, we need to understand how Yandy and Mendeecees went from relationship goals to somebody call Maury. We need a lie detector ASAP. For years, VH1 packaged them as the fairy tale couple who could weather any storm. Yandy was the strong woman in heels, holding down her man through a prison sentence like she was applying for sainthood. She visited him, put money on his books, raised the kids, and let the world know she was built different. Mendeecees, on the other hand, played the reformed family man card, promising he'd never let her regret the sacrifices she made. Reality TV producers ate it up. The fans? They devoured it like Popeyes on a Sunday. But here's the part VH1 forgot to mention: when you build a brand on perfection, every crack looks like an earthquake. And baby, the cracks in this relationship aren't just visible. They're neon, flashing, and screaming. Yandy and Mendeecees ain't who you think they are. So how did we get here? Enter the leak. A mysterious Instagram page popped up because, of course, in 2025, all scandals start on Instagram. This page claimed to have inside info on Love and Hip Hop cast members, and the very first bomb they dropped? Allegations that Mendeecees wasn't exactly the loyal husband social media painted him to be. Supposedly, he had been networking with women behind Yandy's back, and no, I don't mean business meetings. But wait, it didn't stop there. The page also hinted that Yandy wasn't as squeaky clean as fans believed. Rumors swirled that she'd been moving money around in ways that had people whispering, "Is she mixing love with business again?" Suddenly, the internet was convinced that behind the staged family photos and Instagram lives, Yandy and Mendeecees were playing chess with each other instead of building a home together. And you know what happens when tea this hot hits the internet. Screenshots flew faster than Offset in a cheating scandal, TikTok detectives started piecing together timelines, and Twitter went full FBI mode. Fans pulled old clips of Mendeecees admitting on camera that he wasn't sure he'd hold Yandy down if the roles were reversed. Remember that? Yeah, that little moment aged like milk in the sun. Now people were saying, "See, he told us who he was. We just didn't listen." Meanwhile, Yandy wasn't spared either. People dragged her for calling herself a wife for years before legally marrying Mendeecees, accusing her of being more obsessed with optics than actual commitment. Old interviews resurfaced where she talked about separating love and business, and fans twisted those words like balloon animals. So sis been scheming this whole time. The backlash snowballed. Reddit threads lit up like Christmas trees. Instagram blogs pumped out daily updates, and suddenly Yandy and Mendeecees weren't trending for love, they were trending for lies. But here's where the story takes a sharp left. Because while fans were debating who cheated, who schemed, and who played who, a second wave of allegations hit the timeline. And this one? It was nastier than a Love and Hip Hop reunion fight. A former associate of Mendeecees went live, claiming that during his prison stint, Yandy wasn't just holding him down, she was holding herself up by allegedly cozying up to business partners in ways that weren't strictly professional. She painted a picture of a woman who knew how to keep the checks flowing, even if it meant blurring the lines between loyalty and opportunity. And let's just say, the internet ate it up. Now, is this true? Nobody knows. But on the internet, truth is optional. The narrative writes itself, and once the seed of doubt is planted, it grows like weeds in an abandoned lot. Fans who once called Yandy Mendeecees black love goals suddenly flipped the script. Instead of applauding her for sacrifice, they dragged her for strategy. Instead of praising him for reform, they mocked him for relapse. The fairy tale had collapsed, and in its place stood a messy soap opera with more twists than a Shonda Rhimes series. And let's not ignore the irony here. Love and hip-hop has always thrived on scandal, but the difference is it's usually other people's drama fueling the show. This time, the producers don't even need to hire writers. Yandy and Mendeecees are serving the chaos on a silver platter, unscripted and raw. The audience? Hooked. The fans? Divided. The haters? Thriving. It's the perfect storm. The couple who built their empire on loyalty now stands accused of betrayal. And the receipts, real or not, are flying everywhere. So now the question becomes, is this the end of Yandy and Mendeecees as love and hip-hop's golden couple? Or is this just another cliffhanger in their ongoing saga? Because if there's one thing reality TV has taught us, it's this: when secrets come out, the fallout is never just one episode. If you thought the first wave of drama was bad, oh honey, this next storm makes Hurricane Katrina look like a drizzle. The scandal didn't just live on the blogs, it went nuclear across every corner of the internet. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, pick your poison. They were all on fire, like someone dropped a box of fireworks in the middle of a gas station. And in the center of the chaos, none other than Yandy and Mendeecees, serving up enough mess to keep gossip bloggers booked and busy until the next decade, the second those secrets leaked. Celebrities who had no business commenting suddenly became PhD level professors in the School of Atlanta drama. You had people like Cardi B throwing in side-eye emojis, Nicki Minaj fanbase spinning conspiracy theories faster than NASA scientists. And let's not forget Saucy Santana casually dropping shady lives where he said, "Baby, if I ever told y'all what I know about Atlanta couples, half of y'all would stop watching reality TV altogether." Excuse me, sir, don't tease us like that, spill or be gone. And let's talk about the memes. Oh, the memes. Within hours, the internet was drowning in them. One meme showed Mendeecees photoshopped as the new face of Secrets Are Us, while another had Yandy holding a sign that said, "Protect my image," like she was on strike against her own PR team. The internet roasted them so hard, Gordon Ramsay called and asked for seasoning tips. But let's back up, because the deeper you dig, the juicier it gets. These so-called secrets weren't just petty arguments over who left the milk out or who forgot to pay the Netflix bill. Nope. These were heavy. We're talking alleged betrayals, behind-the-scenes power moves, and whispers that Yandy and Mendeecees' picture-perfect marriage might be built on more cracks than the sidewalks in downtown Atlanta. And once the blogs started piecing receipts together, fans didn't know whether to grab popcorn, pray, or run for cover. Now, here's where the plot thickens like grandma's gravy on Thanksgiving. Apparently, there are text messages floating around, yes, text messages suggesting Mendeecees wasn't as faithful as he wanted the cameras to believe. And before you say fake texts, let me just remind you, in 2025, Photoshop is so advanced you can put Barack Obama in a group chat with SpongeBob and nobody would question it. But still, these receipts had enough spice to make the whole internet sweat. Alleged late-night rendezvous, whispered meetups, and even suspicious Venmo payments with captions like, "Don't tell why, brew. If you're going to sneak around, at least don't label your digital breadcrumbs like it's a scavenger hunt." Meanwhile, Yandy wasn't about to sit there and let her reputation crumble without a fight. Oh no. Sis came swinging like Bianca on the Ring the Alarm video set. She jumped on Instagram Live, looking flawless of course, and told fans, "Don't believe everything you read. Y'all forget, people make money off of destroying happiness." Now that sounds sweet. But you know what else it sounds like? Damage control. Because if there's one thing Atlanta reality stars know, it's how to spin a narrative faster than a DJ at Magic City, and let me tell you, the fans weren't buying it. The comment section turned into a digital courtroom, with thousands of armchair lawyers cross-examining every word she said. But sis, what about the texts? What about the Venmo? What about the rumors from season 9? Fans were throwing receipts like dodgeballs in a middle school gym class. Yandy couldn't blink without someone zooming in to analyze her facial expressions like they were body language experts for the FBI. Now let's sprinkle in another layer of chaos because this story wasn't messy enough. Allegedly, a certain ex from Mendeecees' past decided this was the perfect time to reappear like a villain in a soap opera. She popped up online claiming she had nothing but the truth to share about him. And you know the internet, once you say truth, you've basically signed a blood contract to spill it. Suddenly, fans were demanding interviews, podcasts were offering her platforms, and TikTokers were making dramatic reenactments of her alleged tea. One girl even reenacted the texts with sock puppets. Yes, sock puppets. That's how invested people were, and the reactions from fellow love and hip-hop stars. Baby, they were not about to let this thunderstorm pass without grabbing an umbrella and stepping outside. Erica Mena went live laughing so hard she nearly choked on her own shade. Scrappy threw out a cryptic tweet about fake love always showing its cracks, and Carly Red, bless her messy little soul, posted an Instagram story with nothing but popcorn emojis. At this point, Carly is basically the mascot of messy commentary, but let's not act like fans were the only ones shaken. Behind the scenes, producers were reportedly foaming at the mouth with excitement. Think about it, this is the kind of scandal reality TV dreams are made of. Rumor has it the producers are already editing footage to make sure this mess takes center stage in the upcoming episodes. Forget Of and Hip Hop. Atlanta, they might as well rename it Secrets and Lies, the Yandy and Mendeecees edition. And here's the kicker. The public outrage wasn't just about the cheating allegations. No, people were mad because Yandy and Mendeecees had become, in many ways, the poster couple for love after struggle. They built their brand on being resilient, loyal, and unbreakable through all of life's challenges. They were marketed as the blueprint. The couple you look at and say, damn, if they can make it, maybe there's hope for me. So when that image cracked, fans took it personally. Like someone just told them Santa Claus is running a scam out of the North Pole. It's that betrayal of the image that made this story hit harder than a Drake diss track. Because when your whole brand is "we made it through hell together," and then the streets start whispering otherwise, people don't just call you out, they drag you with the force of 1,000 Twitter threads. And in 2025, Twitter threads are basically modern-day guillotines. When the dust finally started to settle, or at least when people thought it would, the fallout hit harder than a reality TV reunion chair toss. The Yandy and Mendeecees empire, once polished and presented like a motivational poster for Black love, now looked like it had been run over by a convoy of messiness. And the streets of Atlanta, still buzzing like someone left the gossip microwave running on high. The aftermath wasn't just public chatter, it was institutional damage. Brand deals suddenly got as shaky as a Jenga tower in a toddler's hands. Companies that once proudly plastered Yandy and Mendeecees' faces across campaigns started ghosting like an ex who borrowed your hoodie and never returned it. Sources whispered that one skincare line immediately paused their collab, muttering something about not wanting to associate with unresolved drama. Honey, this wasn't unresolved drama. This was a full-blown HBO special waiting to happen. Fans, meanwhile, split into factions like Marvel vs. DC. Team Yandy defenders claimed she was being targeted because strong women in the industry always get dragged when they shine too bright. Team Mendeecees apologists swore he was just a victim of exaggerated clout-chasing lies. And then there was the third group, the messy middle, who didn't care about loyalty or truth. They just wanted receipts, chaos, and drama to binge-watch like Netflix dropped all episodes at once. And let's be honest, the messy middle were the loudest, but the deeper sting was reputational. For years, Yandy had presented herself as the savvy businesswoman, the strong wife, the woman who kept it all together while Mendeecees served time. That image wasn't just branding, it was the backbone of her career. To see it questioned publicly hit like a sucker punch to her credibility. Suddenly, every motivational speech, every tearful confession on camera, Every "we made it through" moment was being played back on Twitter with captions like, "So this was the script the whole time?" Savage doesn't even begin to describe it. And let's not forget Mendeecees. The man who once sat on panels about redemption and growth was now trending for being Atlanta's new mystery man of scandal. Memes labeled him Mr. Allegedly, and TikTokers turned his old speeches about honesty into remixed parody songs. Imagine trying to hold a straight face when your old clip about keeping it real is going viral as background music for videos of people lying about eating their roommates' food. Brutal, but perhaps the most shocking consequence was how other celebs reacted privately. Word on the curb is that some Atlanta A-listers quietly started distancing themselves from the couple. Invitations mysteriously dried up. Certain influencers suddenly unfollowed them. And in 2025, an unfollow is louder than a lawsuit. The unspoken message was clear: association equals contamination. And when you're in the fame game, image is currency. You can't afford a bad exchange rate. Now here's where it gets cinematic. Rumors begin swirling that producers were considering giving Yandy and Mendeecees a dedicated spin-off. Yes, a spin-off focused entirely on this scandal. Can you imagine? A whole show where the tagline is basically "We got caught. Now watch us clean it up." It would break viewership records because, let's be real, we don't watch Love and Hip Hop for the music, we watch it for the scandals so outrageous they make your own life look boring. And speaking of outrageous, the public consequences didn't stop with careers. Their relationship itself became a gladiator arena for fan speculation. Some claimed Yandy was playing chess, using the scandal to pivot into a bigger storyline and secure more screen time. Others argued Mendeecees was trying to escape the perfect couple label because perfection sells, but imperfection sells even better. The internet turned into a psychology seminar overnight, with people diagnosing them both with disorders they couldn't even spell. But the emotional toll? Oh, you could feel it seeping through. Yandy's tone in her follow-up interviews was sharper, more defensive, like she was holding back tears and fire at the same time. Mendeecees, on the other hand, looked tired, as if the weight of the rumors was heavier than his old legal troubles. And fans, instead of showing sympathy, sharpened their claws. One viral comment said, "They're not Bonnie and Clyde, they're Bonnie and Clyde owned." Ouch! Now let's sprinkle in the long-term ripple effect. This scandal will live forever in digital amber. 10 years from now, when someone Googles Yandy and Mendeecees, this mess will pop up right alongside their accomplishments. Future business partners, brands, and even fans will always raise an eyebrow. That's the cruel reality of internet-era scandals. They don't fade. They just become hashtags you can't escape. And let's not pretend this hasn't influenced the dynamics of Love and Hip Hop itself. Other cast members saw the kind of attention this scandal drew. And you best believe they're plotting their own little exposures, because if the formula for clout is dirty laundry plus public outrage, you can expect closets all over Atlanta are about to be raided for skeletons. It's like Pandora's box was opened, and instead of evil spirits, it was full of reality TV confessionals. The question hanging in the air now is, can Yandy and Mendeecees recover? Can they rebuild their image in an era where fans expect transparency but reward toxicity? Because let's face it, redemption stories don't trend as hard as scandals. Viewers don't share clips of apologies, they share clips of breakdowns. If they manage to flip this narrative back in their favor, it would be a comeback bigger than Britney Spears reclaiming her throne. But right now, the odds look slimmer than a model at Paris Fashion Week. And yet, let's not underestimate them. Love and hip-hop couples are like cockroaches in the apocalypse. They survive nuclear-level mess and still find a way to shine. Yandy knows how to work the media, and Mendeecees has navigated worse storms. If they can weaponize the sympathy of their loyal fans and spin this into a story of forgiveness and growth, they might just turn this L into a payday. After all, scandals don't kill careers, they rebrand them. Still, no matter how much damage control they attempt, the internet never forgets. Fans will forever reference this scandal, whether it's in jokes, memes, or shady tweets every time Yandy posts a motivational quote. They could renew their vows, adopt 10 kids, Start a nonprofit for rebuilding broken homes, it wouldn't matter. Someone in the comments would still type, but what about the texts though? And that, my friends, is the haunting legacy of modern fame. You can be adored, you can be celebrated, but the moment your secrets leak, your reputation is no longer yours, it belongs to the public. And the public? They're ruthless. So there you have it, folks, the curtain has been ripped wide open. The tea has been spilled hotter than McDonald's coffee. And the so-called power couple of Atlanta just learned what happens when secrets meet Wi-Fi. Chaos on demand. And while Yandy and Mendeecees scramble to duct tape their empire back together, the rest of us are sitting front row with popcorn, watching their drama unfold like it's the Avengers finale. Now let's get real. If you made it this far, clearly you're as messy as I am. You live for the scandal, you thrive on the chaos, and you probably have a group chat blowing up right now with screenshots. So don't play coy. Smash that like button like it owes you money, drop a comment with your juiciest hot take, and hit that subscribe button harder than Mendeecees hitting the unfollow button after a shady meme goes viral. Because here's the truth. Scandals don't sleep. By the time you blink, there's another celebrity meltdown, another shocking exclusive, another mess so big it makes this one look like kindergarten playground drama. And guess what? We cover it all, unfiltered, exaggerated, and twice as outrageous as the headlines you think you know. So buckle up. Because if you thought Yandy and Mendeecees were wild, wait until you see the next bombshell we've got cooking. Spoiler alert. Reality TV producers wish they had this level of madness. This isn't just news. This isn't just gossip. This is the front line of fame's battlefield. And we're bringing you every explosion. Stay scandalous. Stay subscribed, and remember, in the world of fame, secrets aren't buried, they're broadcast. This has been Fame Ripple, where the chaos never ends.